It's been 2 years since the Disruptor pack released for Hitman, giving its owners permanent access to the Disruptor elusive target in the arcade. The premise of the mission is that the Isle of Scale is hosting a mixed martial arts fight to the death between Quantum Leap CEO Tim Quinn, who has no chance, and a famous fighter and target called the Disruptor, who is portrayed by the real-life controversial celebrity Conor McGregor. Getting involved with him in the first place was a mistake on IO Interactive's part, but when McGregor's legal troubles escalated, the Hitman developer wisely cut ties with him entirely, and consequently removed his DLC from stores. Now, I never thought the Disruptor was particularly fun, but I understood those who disliked the permanent removal of a mission, who called for a recast of its targets so it could return. Evidently, so did IOI, because the Disruptor has returned as the Wizard, a new celebrity elusive target in DLC, with basically the same premise as the Disruptor, but now featuring Muay Thai advocate Wiz Khalifa. So, let us take a look at this DLC, which I've been generously given a review code for. As I've mentioned before, I wasn't very fond of the mission this is based on, the Disruptor, so I was particularly interested in how IOI changes and improves it, to bring value for those of us who regrettably own the old one. The levels received a minor redress, extending to some of its characters, though otherwise it's virtually unchanged. The ring now plays black and yellow on a loop, which is hilarious and genuinely improves the atmosphere, but there's very little outside of the mission story, so you're not getting much in terms of something worth paying for and replaying, especially if you already own the Disruptor pack or have played either elusive target. One big pain point in the Disruptor was the very lackluster mission story to fight him in the ring. You're given a series of uninteresting QuickTime events, and even if you messed up every one of them, McGregor could never actually win. Unfortunately, this is unchanged in The Wizard.
I will kill you.
No, you won't. At least IOI has improved the most jarring part of the Disruptor, its bizarre presentation. The Wizard's briefing now has custom music,
A duel at the Ark Society's headquarters on the Isle of Scale.
whereas the Disruptor just used Chungking's soundtrack.
CEO of Quantum Leap and organizer of the event.
The old briefing had more moments of silence than Remembrance Day, which were glaringly below par for an elusive target.
The Disruptor. Tonight, the Isle of Scale. His opponent, Good Luck 47.
There's no longer a strange fixed camera angle, nor clashing songs playing simultaneously during the fight. And the new mission isn't capped off with an unskippable cutscene made as cheaply as possible to rob you of what little satisfaction you might have gotten from killing this asshole.
What the fuck?
I feel these improvements get the mission up to par with a standard elusive target, but not quite of the same level as the Banker, the Harbinger, or the Splitter. Finally, I feel the need to remind everyone that this mission is only accessible via the elusive target arcade, with all of its associated limitations. It's very out of the way in the UI, failing the mission gets you locked out of it for half an hour, you're not allowed to save, you can't restart or replan after killing the target, and the mission is inaccessible when you don't have a connection to IOI's servers. All of these are restrictive enough that I don't think I'll be playing the Wizard for recreation again. However, the mission isn't the only appeal here. The Wizard pack also includes some new themed items. This zigzag suit, this blunt knife, which also functions as a medic poison vial, because why not? Jesus! The Tac and Yellow assault rifle, which is nearly identical to the Tac 4 AR Mark II, and the beatdown boombox, which plays black and yellow on a loop. This is not only funny, but also a curious return of the carryable radio item that appeared in Paris, and basically never again since, though this new version can be thrown to knock people out. Intriguingly, it's a non-briefcase item that fills the briefcase slot, and has all the same restrictions for bringing it in. While I doubt I'll be using any of these often, I do respect that the knife and boombox are unique items. Nothing quite like them has been unlockable before. Of course, all of these tools can now be found and used in Freelancer. stored inside the wall where 47 hides all of his celebrities. Also in Freelancer is this theme for The Office, turning it into a black and yellow sound studio for 47, just begging the question, what kind of music does he even make? Last but not least, the bedroom also has a new theme in, shockingly enough, black and yellow. Yes, this is where the magic happens. That is, 47's Magic the Gathering games against Diana. So, is it worth it? I will say that I don't think the mission is worth bothering with, especially since you can play the arcade release for free at the moment, and the elusive target will certainly get reruns in the future. As for the items and Freelancer cosmetics, that's up to your taste. I don't think they're exactly must-haves, but maybe you've concocted some crazy idea that just needs a knife with vomit poison. Or, more likely, you want to 100% your Freelancer inventory. I don't recommend this DLC, but I also won't advise against picking it up. At that price, its value can't really get that bad. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Cassidy, and have a nice day.